Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Trifecta J here with episode 1 of my NBA 2K MyGM on the PS4. And in this series, I'm going to be using the Atlanta Hawks, a team that was the 8th seed in the East this year. And with this series, I'm going to be simming through the first year to get to the 2015 season and also go through the draft. This is pretty much the entire offseason and the year that I went through to get to 2015. So to start out, the owner, he wants us to improve our roster to a top 15 roster. I said we may be able to do that, and then he also wants us to win 17 home games. I said that will be no problem. I will definitely accomplish that. And so you can sort of see right there what our player payroll is like. So just simming through, like I said, the first year, the media wants to know what I hope to accomplish. I said big things. And so with this, your MVP of the season is Kevin Durant. Rookie of the year happens to go to Trey Burke. Usually it's Michael Carter-Williams. Sixth man of the year, Jordan Crawford. Defensive player, Joakim Noah. Most improved, Eric Bledsoe. And coach of the year is Scott Brooks. So now looking at the all NBA teams, we actually have someone who made one of them. Al Horford made the all NBA third team. And then that is the only player that we had who made any teams. So in the playoffs now, we did not make the cut, as we were pretty close, I think, and we just missed it. So in this, the Heat and the Bulls are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Bulls are in the finals, and they will win it all. So that is definitely what the Bulls fans were hoping for this year, with a healthy Derrick Rose and all of their players, but that did not work out that way. So now looking at the retiring players, Rashard Lewis, Steve Nash, and Derek Fisher headline the retirees, and Steve Nash is sent to the Hall of Fame. So now looking at our budget for this year, I put everything I could into player budget. I ended up putting about $6 million into staff payroll, and then the rest into team operations to increase free agent interest. So in the lottery, the Grizzlies, Timberwolves, Bucks, Celtics, Kings, and then we finally get the 9th pick, with the Magic having the first pick overall. So with the Bulls winning the NBA championship, they have the 30th overall pick. And so with this, we're going to offer Mike Budenholzer a 3-year extension, as I like what he's done with the team, and I like his system that he provides. So we're going to try and replace Darvin Ham, who definitely is a good assistant coach, but there was upgrades that we could get. And so I'm just looking at some of the badges and see which one would hurt me the least. And so I believe I ended up going with Josh Clydesdale for a 1-year deal. Also, we needed a scout and a trainer, as those are two people whose contracts have expired. And with that, we're going to be looking at 2 replacements per each thing. So now for a scout, we're going to be looking around it. We go with Ryan Lance for a 3-year deal, as he had one of the best things and he had no negatives on him. So that was the one that I went with. And now for a trainer, we would just end up going with one of the people who was available. I think he was probably the best one that there was. And so with this series, with the Atlanta Hawks, this is a team, like I said earlier, made the playoffs as an 8 seed in real life, and has some nice pieces in Al Horford, Paul Millsap, Jeff Teague. All are good players with nice bench players in DeMar Carroll, Kyle Korver, Pero Antunes as a stretch 5. As Korver's a great shooter, DeMar Carroll's pretty good on defense. And so now looking at our player option, we're going to actually decline John Jenkins, as we're trying to get as much possible salary as we can going into the offseason. So with this, we're going to offer Shelvin Mack and Mike Scott both contracts, with just letting Elton Brand walk, as he was not interested in anything, and the other players I just didn't care about. And so with this draft class, it has a full list of all the prospects, and Gary Harris will actually go number 1, with Roy Devin Marble going 2, Andrew Wiggins. So the first couple picks are a little off. Then Joel Embiid goes, who actually broke his foot in real life. Kind of a sad thing, but whoever does end up getting him will definitely be getting a great player. Then Nick Stauskas, AJ Hammonds, Jusuf Nurkic, I think is how you say it. Then Jabari Parker, who I was looking at. We're actually going to trade down and get a 2015 draft pick, as I had some people I was interested in going after, as this team really needs another wing player who can develop into a nice scorer and defender. And so we, like you could see, we traded down to the 13th pick. The Timberwolves would trade up. And with that, we're going to go with James Young, a pretty good shooter from Kentucky. I was also looking at Glenn Robinson III, but as you can see, I would eventually just go with James Young. So now, with our second round pick, we get offered a deal for Pero Antich, but I like him as our stretch 5. And Clint Capella was a guy who I really wanted to get, but I was not able to. And so I do eventually draft Chris Walker, who has a ton of potential, but he's just a very low overall right now. And so I got Elton Brand and CJ Miles both to agree to 1-year contracts, give us a nice player down low and a good shooter on the outside. And so going through free agency, those were the only 4 signings that we made in Scott, Mack, Miles, and Elton Brand. So with that, we're also going to sign Chris Anderson to a minimum contract, who can definitely be a great presence inside. And now going through the training camp, we send Jeff Teague to untapped potential, send some of our players to perimeter shooting eventually. So right here I was looking at what James Young and what his stats really were, because in real life he's not a great athlete, but I would just eventually send someone to I would send Mike Scott to perimeter defense, same with Kyle Korver, or I think that's James Young. I sent James Young to training camp for that. So big man defense I would send to Paul Millsap, as this makes him a lot better at shot blocking, something that would really be a huge help. And also we're going to send our entire team to free throw percentage. And as you can see towards the bottom, Chris Walker is like 25 skill as a free throw shooter. That's really bad, and that is not something that we can really deal with. So he'll probably ride the bench for the first year and maybe part of the second, but eventually he should develop into someone who can really be part of a great core. So Chris Walker, you can see I sent him to untapped potential. He was a 91 potential. I didn't really know, so I would send him to that, and he became a 99 overall potential. So he could definitely be a huge player for us in the future. And so our owner wants us to trade Elton Brand to give Chris Walker some time. I said that would be hard to accomplish just based on Chris Walker's not a part of our team this year. He's just going to sort of sit on the bench and maybe play a little. And so to end the episode, I'm going to do a trade for Gordon Hayward, a player who's been rumored to the Hawks. I'm trading CJ Miles, Elton Brand, and my 2 draft picks, which I don't really care about at this point just because they don't really matter. And so I hope you enjoyed, because I'm out.